Hello, I am about to go to a bookish fantasy ball in Oxford in a very autumnal, beautiful blue day. We've got tiaras, we've got dress options. We're going to take you along for the whole journey. So if this is the kind of thing you like, it's a little bit different than the bookshop content I usually create, but we're going to go meet some authors at the ball as well. And this is going to be like stepping into a real life book, like a real life fantasy, hopefully romantasy novel, and I can't wait. So if any of you have been as curious as I was before I came to this event, I would love to take you along just so you can see a little bit of behind the scenes. Last year I went to the ball and I was actually selling books at the ball, and this year I'm going to just enjoy it, and it was one of the best things I did last year. It was incredible, it blew me away. So I am going to attend the Elemental Ball by Mystic Fate in Oxford this evening, and yeah, I just wanted to take you along for the journey. Okay, so if you haven't heard of these balls before, think like your wildest fantasy romance fantasy books. People are going to be wearing elf ears. I've actually got some here. I bought them specially to like match my skin tone, so they're going to be like, they're quite tall. Okay, I'm hoping these are going to fit. I've not tried them on before, but I'm thinking maybe I can kind of pin some of my hair, and I'll show you my different tiara options. Maybe if I pin it like that a little bit. People go all out for these things. The amount of costumes last year, I was so impressed. There's like a whole competition for people who've sewed their own and made their own, and they were unbelievable, like unreal. So the ball tonight is 500 people. There's an elemental theme. Oh my gosh, is it giving Akatar though? Is it giving Sarah J Maas? Those of you who know this kind of fantasy world will know these things. For those of the rest of you, I think you're just gonna have to, it's dress up. It's just dress up. It's fun. Cut us some slack, okay? The world is a hard, dark place. Sometimes you just need to run away to a ball, because I think this is really fun. But yeah, like last year people went so out. There was even people like coordinate their costumes as well. So someone went as like the sun, an embodiment of the sun, and her like mirror was the embodiment of the moon. They looked incredible together. People stitch costumes, people wear wings, people, oh my goodness, it's amazing. I have a few different tiara options. My dress is already here on the bed. The elemental ball this year, this today, is like, you can join one of the elemental houses. So you can be water, earth, fire, and air. And then there's a book theme for each one of those houses. I decided to do earth, and so I've got roses all over my dress, and then I've got ivy to kind of wind up my arms as well. And I'm thinking kind of earth, elf, you know, like woodland elf. That's what we're going for. I've got tiara options, so I'll show you, and if you can help me pick, obviously you're gonna have to comment and see which one, but okay, so this one is stunning. It's got like a nice amount of height, and it's got kind of antler bits in it as well as like leaves. So I thought that was quite earthy, I guess, and it's got a nice height, which I thought could work well with the ears as well. Maybe like this. The other thing is last year I saw people layering crowns. So maybe more than one, because the other one of the other ones I have is this one. I like the ones with like flowy down stuff at the back, so you can have it like trailing when you're dancing and stuff. The ball has multiple different rooms, so there'll be last year there was potions making, there was fan art, dancing, there was the full ballroom with like formal dancing including dance teachers, and then it turns into like a giant party. But they were so thoughtful. They also had things like a quiet room and earplugs that you can put in if it's a bit overstimulating, and obviously a book room, which is where I was, and I can't wait to go back and see the books this year. Okay, hold with me, but if we did layer, what if we did like the crown in the mid, is that too much? I feel like that's too much, isn't it? And especially with the ears, because I don't know how it's going to stay on during dancing, but is that giving elven princess vibes? With the dress as well. Imagine like the full ball gown. I feel like that might be fun. Okay, if that's too much, we could just do the one That would just be kind of more princessy, maybe a bit higher. All that kind of vibes. It's more subtle, maybe winding some ivy or some roses through my hair as well. We've also got a leafy one, which I think is more kind of goddessy, Greek goddessy vibe, with like gold leaves. I think this was when I thought I might be doing Fire Court, but also there was a Hercules dress up thing that I was going as Megara, so this kind of fit that vibe. Yeah, I don't think this one alone, but again, maybe layered with one of the others, because it does have the gold, which kind of catches the light really nicely. Maybe without. Do we like the ears? I think we do. I think we're going to go all out, because why not? When else do you get to do this, really, realistically? And then I have a full kind of moon-themed tiara as well. So you could go more with that's kind of more princess vibes. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm also really nervous because even though these things are so friendly, I always get nervous beforehand. I think people think I'm more extroverted than I am, because when I'm filming these things, I probably seem quite happy and quite, you know, extroverted. But that's because I'm filming alone. Like, I'm completely alone most of the times, like in my bookshop or, you know, here. So I don't get nervous, because it's almost like I'm talking to myself. And then when I'm suddenly in a room with people, and last time I went to an event and people recognized me from TikTok and from YouTube, and people recognizing me, and I was like, hi, like it's so cool. It was just so joyful. But I really like it when people come up and say hello and they already know my name, because it feels a lot less intimidating to kind of go into a huge room of 500 strangers. I've got a friend coming with me tonight, and as I say, like, I have met a lot of the people at last year's ball, so I need to like calm the nervous energy down. But how can I not be excited? Like, it's a ball, it's a ball, it's a ball. And I feel like that's, yeah, so many of the books I read, this is like the moment where they get to go to the ball and like dance all night, and I love that kind of thing so much. So I've travelled here from London. I'm super interested to see what they do with the different elements, and last year's was kind of themed on a Beauty and the Beast retelling called Where the Dark Stands Still, which I loved. They're doing it in collaboration with Penguin. So I know one of the books, I read one of them and loved them, Air of Storms. That was also a Fairy Loot book a couple of months ago. So if you've read that one already, let me know, or if you want to read it. And I'm hopefully going to grab some of the authors. I'm really excited to meet her, but maybe if I can grab some of them and ask them a couple of questions and then add it to this video, I think that would be really nice. So I can introduce you to the authors, because I think it would be such a dream to have a fantasy book published and then have a ball based off it. That's surreal. My book that I've been writing, thank you everyone who's been supporting me, and I'm sorry that there's been a little bit of a delay, because I've been writing my book, and while I would love to put absolutely 100% of my energy into everything all at once, I have had to learn that while we have the ability to do everything, we don't have the ability to do everything at the same time. And actually focusing our energy on one thing does sometimes mean reducing, not getting rid of completely at all, but like reducing energy for a little bit in other areas. So I've been focusing on writing, and I'm very excited to announce that I have just finished my first draft. I'm not sure how good it is, but everyone says the first draft just needs to be written, and I've sent it to my agent, and I've also signed with an agent, so that's very, very, very exciting. So that's what I've been doing and where I've been, and moving house, so it's all been a bit of a whirlwind, but I am back in the bookshop this week after the ball, like in a few days time, and I'm really excited to get back into the bookshop and just be doing booky things, and also just waiting for my agent to kind of come at me with the first set of notes. So one thing at a time, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a life update on where we're doing and what we're doing, and then you can come with me to the ball and see the beautiful, stunning setting, which I'm sure is going to be beautiful. I always like to set an intention, so my hope for tonight is, I suppose my hope for tonight is to meet the people that I met last year, and that it's as wonderful and to get to connect. And like for me, it's always about community. So if I can build some more community with those people, because they were so lovely, and to put on this kind of scale of event takes so much work. So if I can support them in any way, then I would love to do that, and to meet the authors as well, I reckon. And to dance, that would be nice. To like twirl around. I feel like I need to twirl in a ball gown like this. I'll show you the ball gown quickly as well. It's huge. So I don't know if you can see, but that's, if you can imagine the vision, this is what we're going to transform into. And I love you all, and I'll see you at the ball. So we are at the fantasy ball now. I'm wearing all of the crowns, and Joyce is with me. We've been going around so many rooms. So there are different rooms based on the different courts. So one room in the fire was completely lit up by candles, totally amazing. There's life drawing going on, but like fantasy life drawing. It was incredible. We've got a whole court, and there's some kind of storyline going on where there's magical people. Was somebody assassinated?
I think so, yeah. It was a trial water court.
Trial? Like somebody's been assassinated from one of the courts, and the other court is there, and we're all meant to be making peace and allies. People have gone full out. The costumes are amazing, but it is overwhelming because there's 500 people. I don't know. We found like this tiny quiet corner, and like
that was like a castle as well.
Yeah, the whole venue is stunning, and we found like the quietest corner possible
to be able to film.
Yes, but I think there's like maybe the DJ is about to start, and
the costume contest.
Yes,
as well. And
is that starting soon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Soon. And then we have the panel.
Yes, there's a panel with 4 authors, and we met one of the authors already, and she was so lovely. She was so nice. And we met the booksellers as well, and we're going to go back to the bookshop that they own tomorrow. And I just love meeting other booksellers because everyone here basically loves books, but there's something special when you meet someone else who owns a bookshop. And he actually opened the bookshop that he owns at the same time I opened mine, so that's very cool.
I didn't know.
Yeah, like 4 years ago, he opened at the exact same time. But it's like a book bar, which is cool. So we're gonna go and visit there tomorrow and hunt it down. But for now, we are like literally resting our little feet before we go back in for more dancing. And wish us luck because the dresses are very big, and to not like try and stand on them was like genuinely a challenge.
I am guilty.
Okay, we're gonna head back in. Wish us luck. Okay, it is the morning after the ball. I'm so tired but so exhilarated. I've written so many notes to go through with you because I wanted to tell you about all of the different activities. The venue is insane, completely incredible, but it had so many different rooms and so many different activities. So I want to tell you about all of them and also to give you tips. Because if you're thinking about going to one of these things yourself, these are the tips that I would definitely recommend to follow. And to be honest, even if you're not, this is the kind of thing that I like hearing the behind the scenes of. So these are the different things. There were 500 people at this ball, as well as all of the people working there. So it was a huge, huge, huge space. People's costumes were unbelievable and I had the best time, but these are definitely some of the tips that I would say as well. So starting off, when you go in, you've got the most amazing, huge, huge space, but getting to the venue can be a little bit, I was wearing a full ball gown with tiaras and elf ears, so definitely plan how you're going to get there and how you're going to get home afterwards. Booking somewhere really close by might be a good thing. When you go in, they have this amazing kind of opening performance. Everyone's taking content, everyone's taking videos, and that was stunning. You're just looking at everyone's costumes. People had made their own, and there was actually a costume competition later that was unbelievable. But you have this huge opening performance with these acrobats when you go in, and that was amazing just to have everyone gathered in the ballroom with full fantasy lighting, and the acrobats were from each of the different elements. So we had fire acrobats, water, air, and they were doing some kind of performance storytelling together that was really beautiful. Then it went on and we had live organ music that, it sounds weird, but it was so fantasy coded. It was amazing. And the organist actually came back later in the night and played alongside music to dance to. I don't think you raved until we've had a rave with an organist as well. It was incredible. Then we had a dance class. It was a formal dance class. So they were somebody was on stage calling things out, and all of us were in huge ball gowns and we were going to and from, and they were telling us we had to go underneath, which I was a bit worried about because people were wearing wings and I had my tiaras and I didn't want them to get knocked off in my headset as well. Okay, so the activities. One of the rooms had life drawing that was fantasy life drawing with characters that were dressed up. One of them had a giant snake, one of them looked like Helion from the summer court in Akatar. It was amazing, and it was all in candlelight, so that was a really silent room. So if you wanted a little bit of quiet space, people were doing drawing in there, and so many people were so creative as well. There was also an acting performance of interactive characters that were telling the story of the ball, and there's somebody had been assassinated in one of the courts, and there was a whole story to it that was amazing. There's photo booths, there was a live painting. Oh my goodness, she was amazing. She had this stunning grey gown and she was doing a live painting of a woman in a library that was so beautiful to watch. People were so creative, it was amazing. There was books for sale and authors that are there with their book, and they're all romantasy books, and they can sign the books and you can meet the author, do a meet and greet. And there was actually a Q&A as well with Coco, who was interviewing. She was amazing, it was brilliant. We also had people making friendship bracelets at a whole friendship bracelet station, and again that was really nice and calm. So if you wanted somewhere calmer to go, that was quite a good point to also get to know other people, maybe talk a little bit more. There was a bar, but you didn't really have to drink. Some people were, I personally didn't, so it was very open in that way, which I liked. And they'd done a lot of really thoughtful things, they had earplugs for if you got too overwhelmed. And I just love it because it's made for booky people, so definitely people who might be a little bit more introverted. There was all the formal dancing and dance class, but then we had a DJ, and the DJ played the best fantasy music. So we had all of the music Pirates of the Caribbean, and all the music that we've been hearing on all of our fantasy TikToks and stuff like that. That was what was playing, and it was epic. It was so much fun. It was not club music at all, but it was music that we would want to twirl in ball gowns to, and we did, and that was so much fun. And there was also a costume contest. So many people had made their own, and so seeing all of that creativity as well was amazing. Okay, those are all the activities. I think my favourite out of all of those was probably the dancing. I love to be able to move, and wearing a giant ball gown and swishing around, although trying not to stand on other people's I think that was my favourite part. I thought it was so special to get to see loads of different people who've just come from all different countries and all different backgrounds and areas of life to get to celebrate fantasy books together and like step into one of those books. That's what it felt like. It felt like we had all just like stepped into a film set of one of these balls or stepped into one of these books, and everyone was in costume and just having the best fun, and that felt like such a joy to get to meet everyone. Okay, so tips. People bring trinkets to the ball to give to other people, kind of like friendship bracelets for like Taylor Swift. This was one of the little bracelets somebody bought me from, like, they were in the House of Water, so it's like little water droplets. Somebody made me this tiny little really cute little ferns, and it's on like a wax seal. I also got a dragon and a little like necklace with a vial of like little gemstones in. That was really beautiful. So if you want to bring and exchange trinkets, that's something that's really worth doing. I would definitely say with costumes, go extravagant, and like, this is like fancy dress. You can go full out. I mean, if you have a headdress, wear it. Flowers in your hair, crowns, tiaras, like full ball gowns. Like, it's definitely quirky, and it's the place for like quirky, whimsical, joyful, for sure. So I definitely say, even if you don't have a lot of money to spend, that's okay. Just be creative, because everyone there has like, you know, people wearing chains, people are wearing gemstones. Like, it's definitely the place for that, and there is no too big. Like, go big, do it as much as you want. I had like fake ivy around me for like the House of Earth. So yeah, I would definitely say like go big. I would say definitely at the start, make sure you say hello to everybody, because everybody is quite shy, and maybe we're all booky people, so we're all quite nervous maybe at the beginning because there's so many people, but it'll make dancing later so much more fun if you actually have like met people already and like have the opportunity to say hello. And also that's one of the reasons that we're all there, right? Like, that's one of the reasons that we want to go to these things, is to like make connections with other people who are like us. So be bold, say hello. I know it's scary, but just say hi, is this your first time at the ball? And like, everyone was so lovely, so lovely. I would say wear flats. People looked incredible in heels, and I get it, it looked stunning in the photos, but you are walking, the ball starts at 5 and goes on till 11, so it's literally like 6 hours. And if you are not wearing flats, I don't know how people did it. And just seeing people in pain, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Wear flats. Some people are wearing sneakers by the end. Like, do what you have to do, you know, just be comfy in that sense. I would also say there are little snacks, but they are quite small, so definitely eat a full meal beforehand, I would say, because you're burning so much energy. Like, the amount of dancing and walking and chatting to people, I would definitely say, like, yeah, like eat before. I did, and that was the right call. I would also say book somewhere nearby that you think that you can get to and from easily. Like, obviously you're walking in full costume and you can't get changed at the venue, so you want to get ready first and then go. I definitely got some weird looks as we were walking down the street. As we got closer to the venue, there were so many people in full outfits, you know, with swords and axes. So think about what you want to do and plan for it. So when you first go in, explore each of the rooms. There's different timings on all of the rooms. So I would definitely say that was something that I would do better next time, like seeing like the performances have certain times and they're all in different spaces. So it's very easy to miss things. If you don't want to miss anything, then make sure that you have a look at the itinerary beforehand and kind of highlight and plan your night a little bit. Even if you don't stick to it completely, there are definitely things I would have liked to have seen more of, so I would say that for sure. And then last tip would be take photos, but don't let that be like the whole thing. Don't let that be the whole experience, because some people, obviously people are taking content and that's amazing, but also make sure to get people's contacts so that you can exchange the photos that you took of each other and keep in contact after the ball as well. Other than that, I would 100% recommend it. 1000%. It was an amazing experience. Mystic Fate blew me away with their attention to detail, the lighting, every single room, and the amount of volunteers that are there to make you feel safe and make you feel helped. And they all had kind of like light up armbands on them as well, so you really felt looked after the whole time. But I thought it was the most incredible experience. I'm exhausted now, but I would definitely do it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's so fun to be able to share all of these experiences with you online, and I just know that this is the kind of thing that I love to watch. So if you're like me and you just enjoy like living vicariously, then thank you so much for coming to the ball with me, and I can't wait to see you in my bookshop next week. And we're also going to be doing some like tours of Oxford books and bookshops, so I can't wait to film a bit of that this week. And I'm just sending you so much love from wherever you are in the world. I hope that you find a book, whether it's fantasy or whether it's another kind of book this week, that you just delve into and completely love and adore. And sending you so much love from here. Bye for now.